Previously on Life is Strange.
Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be reviewing Life is Strange issue 2, and this is the Partners in Time. Now, this isn't too bad for what it is, this issue. I feel on some sort of levels that it's kind of flushing out, but it's also doing the whole thing where it's jumping from one time to the other and not kind of giving you that chance to be like, which universe is this? Now, there isn't a part in it where obviously Chloe in one realm or one universe and Chloe in another have different shades of hair, and I didn't kind of pick that up until I looked back and went, oh, that's how you can tell the difference. But also what they're kind of wearing. But when you're kind of like reading it through and going, oh yeah, all this, and then you jump to that one thing and you're like, hang on a minute, what? So it kind of feels like there is no difference in jumping about, and I think it kind of really kind of irritates me. So this issue is all about Chloe, Rachel, and Max all going to kind of a place where cowboys live, Frontierland and stuff like that, and you know they're looking at loads of things going on, like basically back in the day, and it felt like it's a very long-winded type of comic. Like I'd been reading it for a long time, but I feel like there was quite a lot of filler. You have Tristan with Chloe, and they're kind of going to the same places, and then you have like other people just talking about. But with kind of looking over, like I feel like this is another reality where Chloe and Rachel are completely different. I've been watching a few videos on the personality traits of both Rachel and Chloe, and so when reading this, I was like kind of like, But like you get this, like there are scenes in this where you have a lot of emotion. So with Rachel and Max, they start talking, and Max opens up and hugs her and cries and says like, I've been holding this in for 2 years. Now, she says that she loved the Chloe from her timeline. Now, I know previously, probably in other issues, that, you know, Max wanted Chloe to be happy and Rachel wasn't there. And so Max did the main thing that they could do and bring them forward and stuff. And I just feel sorry for Max in this, because I feel like she should either be with Chloe because obviously she's in love with her. I would much rather have seen someone else that Max could have been with. But because of this, the story, Max and Chloe, like it seems like Chloe, you know, Max wanted to make Chloe happy in this. So therefore bringing back Rachel, finding that reality. But this issue just seems to be very filler, very kind of generic, like the story hasn't progressed. And you kind of think that you would want to, because there's only 4 parts in this. Maybe there's going to be a whole different one after this where, you know, Max and Tristan like come together and they have this huge thing, and you know there's another comic book. I also kind of feel like the way that Chloe and Rachel are written is that they're all best friends, like, you know, there's no problematic type thing. But I also see the fact that Chloe has turned around and gone, hey, you know, I'm not going to talk about my parents, I'm not going to even think about Arcadia Bay or anything like that. So this was, I think, just different. Like seeing this is, I could see this happening to be a story like for the next Life is Strange 3 or something like that. One thing I did kind of find interesting is when Chloe and other Chloe and Max and all that, they're at the kind of like the costume shop where they're getting new clothes, where, you know, they see the other versions of themselves. So I kind of like the fact that they were kind of touching upon this, and Max mentions later on and goes, oh hey, yeah, I've got this, and you know, I kind of sensed you, Tristan, or Tristan senses Max. So I like that sort of like bringing together, because I feel like no matter what they do, like the 2 timelines or realities are going to converge in one area. And I think that's the kind of end game and end goal that you're going to see in this issue, or the series, should I say. Also seeing Victoria come back, and I feel like this kind of was a redemption arc or something, where she's met a boy and, you know, she's hanging about and she apologizes. Like, you know, they reference what happened in the bunker with Jefferson and stuff. And it was just kind of interesting, because you kind of think that Victoria would be like, oh, I don't want to see you guys. Like, oh God, you guys are here as well. But the fact is, Victoria says like, do you want to go for coffee? And they start talking, and I like that. But I feel like Victoria would need a lot more to kind of come down on, not just here's a few panels, I've got a boyfriend outside, he's like this, etc, etc. It just, to me, just doesn't kind of sit right. With this, like, they have, like, near the end of the comic book, they have like a water pistol fight, which is fine. I think that was kind of nice, because they're saying, like, sometimes you wish to have to be, you know, you should do a kids thing once in a while, you should have fun. And I'm like, that's really cool. I like the fact that you're kind of bringing this. I really like Chloe and Max firing water pistols at each other, and obviously you can see that it's all faded out a tiny bit, so obviously it's the two realities. Really, I just kind of think that this issue wasn't too bad. I just want them to start bringing Max back, because I feel like if you're starting to do a bit of filler right now, it doesn't really work that much. I would much prefer to have a story starting to conclude. Now, hopefully in the next issue, that's what we're going to see. And I kind of don't want it to kind of go into the next one, because if this is the last, like, Life is Strange comic book series, I don't want it to move in and be like, oh, now we've got another one after this that we have to tell the story. Because at the moment, I kind of see all of this as just one thing. Now, I am glad that the entire whole comic books, there's not like tons of different variants for this one. So I'm very grateful for this one. My thoughts on it is good comic, good story. Kind of want a bit more, kind of really want to see them all doing it, because I feel that Max isn't going to want to leave Rachel and Chloe. I feel like they're just going to doss about for a while, or maybe they can try and find a way to kind of merge stuff in. But from the way that I've played Life is Strange in the past, is it's all about power, and I don't see Max using her power a little bit like that. I think that if you had, like, if this was like, say, 5 issues, I would want Max to kind of cut loose with her powers a bit, like have some fun, be a rebel, be normal, whatever, and just kind of break loose a little bit. For this, it just feels like Max is a background character in some situations where the main spotlight is on Chloe and Rachel. And I think if that's the case, make a story about Chloe and Rachel and let them go off and do stuff, rather than have Max as like a third wheel. You know, you had that emotional part in here where they open up and then Max cries and says, like, I love my Chloe, but, you know, she's not here, she's not the one, I'm happy to be a friend. I find that heartbreaking, that Max had what she wanted, but then she had to go back and change stuff or find the reality where, you know, all of them can be back. I find that very heartbreaking in this one. I'm like, oh, Max, no, go find Chloe. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. This issue has its ups and downs. It has some okay parts. I'm still going to collect it because I really like the story, and I really want to go and get as much as I can with it. Maybe I'll buy the remaining issues that I haven't got, so I have a complete set for each one. Anyway, I am going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on this? Would you get it? Would you not? Would you like to see Max originally with her Chloe, or are you happy that Max is a third wheel? Let me know down below in those comments, and I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, as well as like and comment. And with that, I'll leave you there. Thank you very much. I'll catch you in the next video.